Welcome back to the David Pakman Show.
Back on the David Pakman Show. Remember, we're giving away this iPad within the next couple of weeks. Everybody who's a member as of the last day of June will get 10 entries. iPad's a pretty good prize, I have to say, but not only do you get the iPad, maybe one person will get the iPad, but every new member gets the podcast commercial free. You get 2 bonus shows a week, access to our full 5.5-year archive. Really, actually, Lewis, closing in on 6 years now. At the end of the summer, it'll be 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Crazy.
And plenty of other great benefits. So go to davidpakman.com/membership and sign up today. Hey, Lewis, I take a lot of heat on the show. You know this, because some people accuse me that I don't support the Constitution. Some tell me that I don't care about the Constitution or I don't want to follow it. They're kind of statements that are very, very broad, and I don't even really understand the meaning of them. What I have said on the show is that to base our entire way of life on a document that was created hundreds of years ago by people whose values we didn't all completely agree with. I mean, slavery, really? We're going to base all of our values on people who wanted slavery, thought that that was reasonable. So that's what I have said. However, I'm actually getting angry now because there's a bunch of Republicans, particularly Rick Perry, the governor of Texas, who is literally insulting the founding fathers and the Constitution with what he is proposing as a mass prayer day. Now, you know, Lewis, that the founders put provisions in the Constitution to separate church and state, keep religion out of government. And in fact, they actually put in there, no religious test can be used for candidates for political office, and the government cannot establish a state religion. By the way, if you're an atheist, you're not getting elected president. At least not right now.
Yeah, so but when it comes to voters, we know that there's plenty of religious tests.
There is a de facto religious test for sure. But putting that aside, this is very clear. Jefferson's Wall of Separation letter, the First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. This is clear, okay? So all of the Republicans who are so big and self-proclaimed constitutional experts, they should know this. Regardless, we are now seeing... we have for a while been seeing constant attempts to inject religion from religious conservatives. Constant, Lewis. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
And just on Monday, Texas Governor Rick Perry sent out an invitation to the other 49 governors of the other 49 states, asking them to attend a religious meeting in Houston to pray and fast together. Okay, well, that's a little odd at face value. Let's look into it a little more. The event that everybody's invited to join Rick Perry at is called The Response, and it's sponsored by our friends over at the American Family Association. If you don't know what the American Family Association is, it's a so-called Christian advocacy group that's responsible for a ton of anti-gay propaganda, the personhood amendment being promoted in more than a dozen states at this point. We're familiar with the AFA for sure. And not only is this an insult to the founding fathers because of the significant steps that they took to keep religion out, as we know, but it's an insult to everybody who is depending and electing officials to help solve the nation's problems. I mean, the concept, Lewis, of using prayer to solve the nation's problems is a trap. I mean, it's set up to engender support for anti-gay sentiment, using morality, so-called morality in state legislatures and Congress. This is a trap. This is a joke, and it's an insult.
Well, what are we going to do about it?
Well, I don't know what we're going to do, but it's not just the AFA and it's not just Rick Perry. I mean, Pat Robertson has claimed that regardless of faith and prayers, that God has forsaken America because of rampant homosexuality and legal abortions. We hear that all the time. My question is this. My question to Rick Perry is this. How many jobs is Jesus or God going to create because you're having a prayer day, a national prayer day, or what do they call it, a mass prayer day? How many jobs will that create in Texas? How many jobs will that create in the states of all of the other governors that you're inviting there? Okay, this is a slap in the face, Lewis, of American citizens and American residents who are relying on people like Rick Perry to actually do something as opposed to pray.
Yeah, but David, a lot of Americans probably think this is a great thing he's doing.
It doesn't matter whether they think it's great. He's the governor. He is not supposed to be involved. Lewis, the founding fathers, listen to me. When do I ever point to the founding fathers and say that this is what we should be paying attention to. But this is an insult to the Founding Fathers. And it's if these same Republicans, everybody's getting a cough in the back, Lewis, because this is such an outrageous story. These Republicans are injecting religion in a way that the Founding Fathers, it's very clear. I'm not really inferring anything here. It's just, it's there in black and white. This is a big deal, Lewis. It doesn't matter whether people would like Rick Perry to, outside of his role as governor, have a mass prayer day with whoever he wants.
And until religion is on the decline, well, I guess
religion is on the decline. We know
that. It's going to be a while before there are no more proposed mass prayer days in this country.
For everybody who's so concerned about the Constitution being, quote, trampled constantly and sending me the emails, send them to Rick Perry, because this is an insult to the Founding Fathers. It's an insult to the Americans that actually, I thought it was you guys that would say this to me.
That are actually trying to pass meaningful legislation and get things done?
People have died, I thought, to protect your sacred Constitution and the American way of life. And now you're going against it with this state-sanctioned prayer? Give me a break. I mean, really, give me a break.
Yeah, of all the things politicians talk about when it comes to the Constitution, it seems they never talk about the separation of church and state.
Oh, of course. You only talk about what's convenient for your side. That we know.
Yeah.